All right, so this video, we're going to address the difference between caffeine and ketones. Can they coexist? Should they be separated? What's the benefit of each? And so I'm not going to get on here and tell you caffeine's bad. I'm not going to get on here and tell you shouldn't drink caffeine. I'm actually a huge caffeine fan. At the same time, what are you really getting out of caffeine? And there's actually some really cool history on caffeine and the benefits and maybe how it helped, really forge a civilization to do more, because caffeine gives us this spark. It gives us that jolt. It gives us that little bit of desire to do more. And there's actually some really good research on caffeine and performance, caffeine and cognition, caffeine and brain function, helps with people to focus sometimes. So caffeine has a lot of benefits, but what's really the difference between ketones and caffeine? Well, caffeine's a stimulant. And there's some downsides, and I'm going to talk about that too, but caffeine's a stimulant. Basically, it stimulates your system. And then unfortunately, there's a neurotransmitter called the adenosine that can build up, and that's why people crash after caffeine, and they're let down, and they feel like they need more of it. So that could be a potential downside. Of course, consuming caffeine all the time can increase cortisol or stress hormones, or it can impact your sleep. So these are things that can get you in trouble. But what if you could have another way? What if there's another way to get these amazing benefits? Aha, ketones. Now, what makes it different is ketones is a food. It's actual energy, meaning that people think caffeine gives you energy. It doesn't. It stimulates your system. Basically, it shocks you, it wakes you up. So you do more. You push a little harder, but there's going to be a letdown on that. Ketones actually have calories. They're food. But what makes ketones different than any other food is you don't need insulin to absorb. So you can uptake it. You can get energy very quickly as you did when you were a kid. Kids don't have caffeine, but why do they have all that energy? Well, they actually can manipulate metabolically, and they can live, and they transition fuel sources so efficiently that they have energy. Ketones do that for adults. They give us this sustained, focused energy without the crash. Now, what I like to do, and there's some other benefits of ketones I'm going to talk about, but what I like to do is I combine them together. So I have in the morning, maybe even the afternoon, I have caffeine with ketones. Why not? You get the caffeine benefit, the performance benefit. You get the ketones, which have increased focus, mental clarity, better mood, better sleep, helps with fat metabolism, helps with hunger hormones. The number one performance tool in the entire world combined with caffeine. Think about that. You have the number one performance tool in the world, and caffeine is a huge performance tool. Think about your workouts, think about your fitness, think about if you want to work out, how different it would be. And so ketones also help detox damaged proteins out of the brain. They help the heart work more efficient, help the muscle protect it from muscle loss as we age. These are all the benefits of ketones, plus it's an energy drink, right? But here's the crazy thing that people don't realize. You need energy when you sleep. If you run out of energy in your sleep, you're going to wake up to go eat. You're going to eat the wrong foods. So you always need energy in your system. So ketones can be taken at night. They can be taken during the day. They can be taken any time. You can't do that with caffeine. And if you're like, I can drink caffeine and go to sleep, there's something wrong with you. Like, that's not a good thing. You're probably too addicted to it. You should make some additional health changes and choices. You should switch to ketones. So what I do is I combine them too. In the morning, I have my ketones with my caffeine in it. It's all in one, comes together. In the afternoon, I have an optional one. Some days I do, sometimes I don't. And then in the evening, I have a ketone with no caffeine. But let's get back to caffeine. Caffeine is one of the most overpriced products in the entire planet. Very valuable. People love it. I think the numbers are over 88% of adults in America drink caffeine. I think it's 91% in Europe. It's a little higher there. They drink caffeine, some form of caffeine. But think about what we pay for our caffeine. And caffeine is extremely, 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 extremely inexpensive, but you pay a lot for it. So you're not really getting, for your dollar, you're not getting the value out of that. Now let's look at ketones. Ketones are the superior fuel source that you can choose to have caffeine with it or not. Think about it if you go get a cup of coffee, right? You're anywhere from $3 to $9, $10, $12 for a cup of coffee, right? So for a fraction of the cost, you can get ketones plus caffeine. Wow. And all the long-term health benefits that go along with that, and the major focus, major mental clarity, the better sleep, everything that comes along with that. So I see people wasting money. I see things like Red Bulls and Monsters and Coca-Cola, everything else, and they taste good. You have an experience. You have an emotional reaction towards these things that you probably enjoy. So I don't tell you never to have it. Do I have a Diet Coke from time to time? I do. It's like a memory of my past, and I embrace that memory, just like a holiday, right? But I would never choose to have that over ketones for my fix. It makes no sense. it'd be like choosing to walk 20 miles to work every day rather than getting in your car driving. You can get to work either way, but which way are you going to go to work? You're going to go in the car. You're going to go in the most efficient, fastest, effective way. That's what ketones are. They're a jet when you travel. They're a train when you're going across the country versus a cart and wagon, right? A horse and wagon. They are the superior force of fuel to your brain, to your body, to your health. And that's why I love this so much. At the same time, I'm going to say, I still like caffeine and I'm not afraid of caffeine. But if you're a person right now that's struggling with getting tired after you drink caffeine, your sleep's interrupted, you're jittery, you're high stress, caffeine may not be the right tool for you. I would recommend ketones with no caffeine at all. Get the benefits of ketones, sustained focus, mental clarity, energy, better mood, better sleep, all the benefits of ketones. And if you're a person that wants to be optimal and wants to get off of the Red Bulls and the Monsters, I mean, that stuff is overpriced, tastes like crap. This tastes unbelievable, delicious, all natural. And then that's not even including a lot of those things have sugar in them, which is making you worse. It's causing this insulin spike, glucose spike, crashes. I mean, it's a disaster waiting to happen. And you get none of the disaster with all the upside with ketones and caffeine. So it's just a no-brainer to make that switch, make that change, and stop funding these companies that are just not providing in your best interest the better. With us, at least you get a number one product, you get the number one health product, you get the number one health company, you get the coaching and guidance you need to make additional lifestyle changes that you probably want to make anyway, all included with just using our products. Pretty dang amazing and pretty dang awesome for you. So caffeine and ketones to me are the winner, but you can choose to go ketones with no caffeine, or you can choose to keep doing what you're doing and just drink caffeine because you're just that stubborn and you're like, well, this works for me. You are average. Stop being average. Be awesome. Be optimal. I work with the former chairman of NASA and he's like, everybody should try to be awesome. Be more awesome. Be optimal. Be the best. Don't just be average. Like you're a cow in the field standing out there with everybody else being average. Be the rhino on the other side and be amazing. Be optimal for yourself. And that's just the model I go by because guess what? I want to be awesome, amazing for my family, for my loved ones, for my friends, for my wife, for everybody I care truly about. And if I can get the edge to be a little bit better, I'm going to invest in that. And the coolest thing is it's cheaper than all the stuff you're already doing. So there's no harm, no foul, and you're going to feel absolutely amazing, y'all. So caffeine and ketones the winner. Ketones stand alone above anything else. Cheers.